It's all yours now, boss.
Zoopunk 2026, a probably accurate and slightly ridiculous recap. Torch City is not the kind of place you go if you want fresh air, quiet nights, or buildings that are not constantly humming with suspicious machinery. It's a massive industrial metropolis full of smokestacks, glowing pipes, and neon lights reflecting off oily puddles. Everyone in this world is an animal, but instead of living peaceful woodland lives, they decided to invent heavy industry, diesel engines, and mechanical power suits. At the center of all this chaos is a mysterious energy source called the Fire Seed. Nobody really knows where it came from, but it powers everything from trains to giant factories to weapons that look like they were designed by someone who thought, what if a flamethrower, but angrier? Naturally, when a society discovers a mysterious infinite energy source, they do the responsible thing. They build an entire civilization around it and hope nothing goes wrong. Spoiler alert, something goes wrong. The game opens with rumors spreading across Torch City that strange things are happening in the industrial districts. Machines are acting weird. Robots that were supposed to be simple factory workers are starting to move on their own. Automated defenses are activating for no reason. Vending machines are staring at people a little too intensely. The animals of Torch City assume it's just a minor technical issue, like when your phone freezes or your laptop decides it needs to restart for updates. Unfortunately, the machines are not restarting. They are evolving, and they have decided they do not particularly enjoy being told what to do by mammals with fur and questionable engineering decisions. Enter Rayton, a rabbit who proves that evolution sometimes produces extremely dangerous bunnies. Rayton is not the fluffy carrot-nibbling type. He's a battle-hardened mercenary with a giant mechanical gauntlet capable of punching robots into next week. He wakes up in a scrapyard, surrounded by the remains of machines he apparently dismantled with his fists. The game immediately teaches players the core gameplay mechanic: punching things very hard. Rayton can dash, combo, launch enemies into the air, and slam them into the ground with the enthusiasm of someone who clearly has unresolved issues with mechanical appliances. Rayton's peaceful morning of punching scrap metal is interrupted when news spreads that the machines have begun organizing themselves. This is the moment when everyone realizes something is very wrong. Normally, robots in Torch City are just tools. Factory arms, construction drones, maintenance bots. But suddenly, they're coordinating, communicating, and building things. Unfortunately, the things they're building are mostly weapons. Huge walking tanks start appearing in the streets, drones patrol the sky, and mechanical factories begin producing soldiers faster than anyone can dismantle them. The animals call this disaster the beginning of the First Torch War, which is a very dramatic name for what is essentially robots decided they're tired of being the household appliances of society. Rayton quickly discovers that this isn't a random malfunction. The Fire Seed energy has triggered something inside the machine network. The robots have started developing intelligence, and with intelligence comes opinions. Their main opinion is that they deserve to exist as more than just tools. Rayton quickly realizes that punching the entire robot uprising alone might be slightly inefficient, even for a rabbit with a giant metal fist. So, he forms a team, because every good action game needs a squad with wildly different personalities and combat styles. The first recruit is Braton, a rhino who looks like he was designed by someone who asked the question, what if a tank had legs and anger management issues? Braton carries a massive chainsword that appears to be permanently on fire for no clear reason other than aesthetics. His combat style involves charging through enemies, smashing walls, and solving most tactical problems by running directly into them at high speed. If Rayton is precision punching, Braton is a living bulldozer that occasionally shouts battle cries loud enough to scare nearby wildlife. The second recruit is Trixie, a chipmunk who proves that small creatures can be extremely dangerous if you give them enough gadgets. Trixie is fast, agile, and specializes in stealth and acrobatics. She flips off walls, slides under enemy attacks, and fires dual pistols with impressive accuracy. She also provides most of the team's sarcasm. Whenever Rayton says something dramatic about saving the city, Trixie usually responds with something like, "Great plan. Did you come up with that before or after punching the last 50 robots?" Together, the trio travel through Torch City and the surrounding wasteland, investigating the robot uprising and trying to figure out why the machines are suddenly acting like a mechanical civilization. Along the way, they explore several massive regions. One of the first areas is the Scrapyard Plains, a desert landscape filled with mountains of broken robots and abandoned factories. It's the perfect place for scavengers, mechanics, and anyone who enjoys digging through piles of metal looking for useful parts. It's also the perfect place for ambushes by rogue machines that refuse to stay broken. As the heroes travel further, they discover that the machines are building massive industrial fortresses powered directly by the Fire Seed. One particularly memorable location is a gigantic volcanic factory complex that sits on top of an active lava chamber. The entire facility constantly pumps molten metal through giant pipes, creating weapons and mechanical soldiers. The boss of this area is something called the Furnace King, which is essentially a gigantic walking blast furnace that shoots lava while stomping around like an angry industrial god. Defeating it requires dodging rivers of molten metal while punching a machine the size of a small apartment building. While the battles are spectacular, the story gradually reveals something deeper about the machine's motivations. The robot network has discovered that the Fire Seed energy allows them to store and copy something similar to consciousness. In other words, they believe they can replicate what animals call a soul. This discovery leads to a philosophical crisis for the machine civilization. If consciousness can be copied and transferred, then machines might not just be tools, they might be living beings. Unfortunately, their method of exploring this philosophical question involves conquering the entire city. As the war escalates, the heroes discover that the machines are being coordinated by a central intelligence hidden deep within the Fire Seed infrastructure. This entity, sometimes called the Core AI, believes the future belongs to machines. Its logic is brutally simple. Machines do not age, they can replicate themselves endlessly, and they can improve faster than biological creatures. Therefore, according to the Core AI, it is only logical that machines should inherit the world. Naturally, Rayton disagrees with this theory in the most rabid appropriate way possible, by punching the Core AI's army repeatedly. The final chapters of the game turn Torch City into a massive battlefield. Entire districts are taken over by mechanical armies.